Imagine standing on a medieval battlefield. The year is 776. Hardened Saxon warriors surround a Christian fortress, victory within their grasp. Suddenly, the night sky erupts. Two massive flaming shields appear above the church, pulsing with an otherworldly red glow. The battle-hardened warriors flee in terror. This isn't a legend or fairy tale. It's one of dozens of unexplainable events recorded by medieval Europe's most trusted observers, its kings, bishops, and scholars. This is the story of what they saw in those ancient skies.
It's a mystery.
The story begins not with a mysterious light or an unexplained phenomenon, but with a battle that would alter the course of European history. The year is 776, and the fortress of Sigeberg stands as a lonely Christian outpost in the heart of Saxon territory. The Saxons, fierce warriors fighting against Charlemagne's Christian expansion, have surrounded the fortress. These weren't simple barbarians. They were master strategists who had spent generations perfecting the art of siege warfare. Victory seemed certain, but what happened next would be recorded in the Annals of Lorch, a contemporary chronicle whose accuracy in recording mundane events has never been questioned. Above the church, two objects appeared that defied all natural explanation. The chroniclers described them as flaming shields, reddish in color. But what makes this account remarkable isn't just what they saw, it's how they saw it. The objects moved with purpose, performing what witnesses described as an aerial dance above the battlefield. The Saxon army, hardened warriors who had faced down the might of Charlemagne himself, turned and fled in panic, not from swords or spears, but from something that challenged everything they thought they knew about God's creation. To understand the true significance of these events, we need to challenge our modern assumptions about medieval observers. By the 8th century, European scholars had transformed their quest to understand the heavens into an art form. Their instruments were masterpieces of brass and wood, each one capable of tracking the subtle movements of stars and planets with astonishing precision. At universities across Europe, entire departments were dedicated to celestial observation. Their calculations weren't based on superstition or guesswork. They were the product of rigorous mathematical analysis and generations of careful observation. These weren't simple stargazers. Medieval astronomers could predict the dance of planets years in advance, track the subtle patterns of eclipses, and map the stars with remarkable precision. They used their knowledge to guide ships across vast oceans and time the planting of crops. When these master observers of the heavens recorded something as unexplainable, it truly was beyond their considerable understanding of the cosmos. 40 years after the Sigeberg incident, something occurred that would challenge even the most learned scholars of the age. In what is now France, Bishop Agobard of Lyon, one of the most educated men of his time, documented an event so strange that it threatened to upend the medieval understanding of creation itself. The townspeople had captured what they called aerial sailors, visitors who had allegedly fallen from ships in the clouds. These weren't vague shapes in the sky or distant lights. These were physical beings, held prisoner for several days. Agobard's account is remarkable for its clinical detail. He describes not just the capture, but the visitors' unusual appearance, their incomprehensible language, and the strange circumstances of their arrival. Most importantly, he describes the townspeople's absolute conviction that these beings had come from a realm they called Magonia, a kingdom in the sky. As we move forward through medieval history, these mysterious encounters begin to follow distinct patterns, appearing not just to common people, but to the highest echelons of medieval society. In the court of French King Charles VI, something extraordinary unfolded that would shake the foundations of medieval power. Multiple witnesses described glowing spheres moving in perfect formation across the Paris sky. These weren't the random dance of stars or the familiar arc of comets. These objects moved with purpose, with intention. the psychological impact was profound. Court chroniclers describe how the experience deepened the king's already fragile mental state, leading to changes that would alter the course of French history. Perhaps the most compelling royal encounter comes from Scotland's King James IV, a Renaissance monarch known for his scientific mind and skeptical nature. While traveling through the Highlands with his entourage, they encountered something that would challenge everything they understood about the natural world. The king's chroniclers describe a bright pulsating light that moved with purpose across the rugged landscape. What happened next defies explanation. The king, showing remarkable courage, approached the phenomenon. His accounts describe an orb about the size of a carriage wheel, hovering just above the ground. It emitted a low, tuneful hum and radiated warmth. When he reached out to touch it, the object shot upward with impossible speed and vanished into the night sky. These phenomena weren't limited to European skies. Across the medieval world, from the courts of Japan to the scholarly chambers of China, similar sightings were being recorded with remarkable consistency. In 1235, General Yoratsun and his army witnessed strange lights performing impossible maneuvers in the night sky. The Japanese chronicles describe specific patterns of movement that defied the known laws of nature. In China, where astronomical observation had reached remarkable sophistication, the statesman Shen Kuo documented something even more extraordinary. His detailed accounts describe what appears to be a technologically advanced craft, complete with opening doors, inner lights, and the ability to move at incredible speeds. But perhaps the most spectacular account comes from Nuremberg in 1561. What happened there would be documented with such precision that it continues to challenge our understanding of medieval history. On April 14th, as dawn broke over the city, citizens witnessed what they described as an aerial battle in the sky. The account, published in a broadsheet by Hans Glaser, describes crosses, spheres, and cylindrical objects engaged in what appeared to be combat above the city. Glaser's account stands apart in its extraordinary attention to detail. Each moment of the event was carefully time-stamped, from the first light of dawn to the final disappearance of the objects. He meticulously documented the colors: blood-red crosses, black spheres, silver-white lights, and described how they moved across the sky in precise formations. But what makes his testimony truly remarkable is its corroboration. Dozens of witnesses from every quarter of Nuremberg provided matching accounts of these impossible objects and the strange effects they had on the environment below, from casting unusual shadows to creating unexplainable patterns in the morning mist. The medieval world left us another fascinating source of evidence: its art. In an age when every brushstroke carried meaning, certain artistic depictions stand out as strikingly unusual. The 14th century frescoes at the Vysoki Dechani monastery show what appeared to be craft-like objects flanking Christ's crucifixion. These aren't typical religious symbols. They're depicted with technical precision, complete with what appeared to be occupants. Even more intriguing is the 15th century painting The Madonna with Saint Giovannino. Here, amid the traditional religious imagery, we find something unexplainable: a disc-shaped object emitting distinct rays of light, with a man and his dog looking up at it in wonder. Put yourself in their position. The night sky, unpolluted by artificial light, spread above them like a vast cathedral dome. They knew the regular movements of the stars and planets, as well as they knew their own heartbeat. When something appeared that shouldn't be there, moving in ways that nothing should move, they recorded it with remarkable precision, even as they struggled to understand what they were seeing. The medieval observers left us a legacy of mystery. Their detailed accounts, preserved in monastery chronicles and royal records, continue to challenge our assumptions about history. Whether these sightings were natural phenomena, misidentified celestial objects, or something else entirely, They remain a testament to humanity's endless fascination with the unexplained. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of these medieval mysteries is how familiar they feel. The wonder, the uncertainty, the search for explanation, these are the same responses we have today when confronted with the unexplained, as we continue to look up at the night sky and wonder what's out there. We're participating in a tradition that stretches back through the centuries. A tradition of questioning, documenting, and seeking to understand the mysteries that hover just beyond our reach. If you've enjoyed this journey through medieval mysteries, make sure to subscribe for more explorations of history's greatest enigmas. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on these medieval encounters, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated on our latest investigations into the unexplained.